our topic entitled Netflix versus local streaming platform under monopolistic competitions. Throughout this presentation, we will compare Netflix with local streaming platform and analyze how competition, product differentiation, pricing, strategy, and technology innovation influence the streaming industry. With
Introduction first, the creative and media industry, often termed the orange economy, is a dynamic sector that generates economy value through the intellectual property and culture expressions. This industry encompasses broadcasting, digital filmmaking, video games, and animation. Today, digital advancements have shifted the media landscape from traditional satellite broadcasting toward hyper-personalized digital streaming. Within Malaysia, this industry has grown to become a regional digital creative hub, which is largely thanks to MDEC that support. The main accomplishment of the country include the success of locally produced animation like Upin and Ipin and Mekamoto, along with significant foreign investment such as a Sony game expansion studio. The media competition in Malaysia includes two companies that are completely different from each other, like Netflix and Astro. Netflix is a company from the US, which is a globally distributed over-the-top streaming service and fully depends on the internet. On the contrary, Astro is a domestic leader of the local pay satellite television that has successfully adapted to the digital age. Both companies perform completely different tasks to satisfy consumers' demand. Netflix performs as a digital archive of global scope by providing international content on demand with the help of intelligent recommendation algorithm, and at the same time promoting local movie around the world. At the same time, Astro performs as a local content aggregation service that incorporates all kinds of streaming applications into one platform. Moreover, Astro holds another crucial role when it comes to broadcasting live, like sports, news, and local language like Malay, Chinese, and Tamil. So, in summary, the creative industry is prospering because of the international reach of Netflix and indispensable local presence of Astro.
As for the market structure analysis, so this slide explains the characteristic of monopolistic competition using Netflix and Astro as examples. First, there are many competitors in the streaming industry such as Disney Plus, View Korea, IQ, and Prime Video. Second, there are product differentiation. Netflix focuses on global original content while Astro offers local entertainment and live sports. Because their services are different, both companies have some pricing power and can set their own subscription prices. They also compete through non-price strategies such as exclusive content, branding, technology, and promotions. Although new firms can enter the market, significant investment in contents and technologies is required. Consumers have many choices and some development brand loyalty towards their preferred platform. Finally, each firm faces a downsloping demand curve. This means that if prices increase, some subscribers may switch to competitors. Next, this table compares monopolistic competition with perfect competition. Although both market structures have many firms, the nature of the competition is different. In monopolistic competition, firms differentiate their products. For example, Netflix and Astro provide different content, features, and viewing experience. In perfect competition, products are identical and consumers see little difference between sellers. Because Netflix and Astro offers a unique service, they have some control over their subscription prices. In contrast, firms in perfect competition must accept the market price. Competition is also different. Streaming platforms compete through exclusive content, branding, innovation, and customer experience. However, firms in perfect competition mainly compete on price. Consumer behavior differs as well. Streaming subscribers choose platforms based on their preference, such as favorite shows, sports content, and user experience. This creates brand loyalty. In perfect competition, consumers usually buy from the seller, offering the lower price. Finally, entering the streaming industry requires large investments in technology, content creation, and licensing. Therefore, entry barriers are higher compared to a perfect competition market. Overall, these differences shows that Netflix and Astro operates in a monopolistically competitive market rather than a perfect competitive one.
Now we continue the Netflix. So Netflix operates on a pure global streaming model. It continues to break record by scaling its user base and diversifying its income. So the first one is revenue performance. Netflix generate 45.2 billion in revenue for 2025, up 16% year on year. For 2026, they project revenue to hit over 50 billions. So the profitability, Netflix expanded its operating margin to 29.5% in 2025 and aims for 31.5% in 2026. And last, the growth drivers. Growth is no longer just about new subscribers. Netflix ad-supported tier brought in over 1.5 billion in 2025. They also expanding into live event and gaming to keep user engaged. So, to wrap up, look at this direct financial comparison. So the metric we have Astro and Netflix. The revenue trend we have Astro decline over 9% down in financial year 26. Netflix they growing 16% up in 2025. So the primary challenge high legacy costs and subscribers churn for Astro. Netflix content amortization and saturation. Plus the new engine, Astro have Suka app and local vernacular content. For Netflix, we have entire monetization and live event. So Astro face legacy cost pressure while building its digital presence. Netflix use its massive global scale to improve margin and open a new revenue stream like advertising.
I will present the international implication. First, if you want to launch a media business today, you have to face two absolute giants, Netflix and Astro. But how they survive and profit is completely different. Let's break down the strategy in simple terms. First is let's talk about entry barriers. Basically, the message for protecting these companies from competitors. For Netflix, the world is money for content. Netflix spend millions of dollars every single year just to make original show and movie. Plus, they have to translate and dub those shows into dozens of languages so the whole world can watch. A new startup simply can afford that. For Astro, the world is local infrastructure. infrastructure, and rules over decades. Astro built massive satellite and cables network. They also held complex government relations and owned the exclusive right to broadcast huge live sporting events. If you want to watch Premier League sport in Malaysia, you almost have to go through Astro.
So, based on our comparison between Netflix and local streaming platform, we can conclude that the streaming industry operates under monopolistic competitions, under like perfect competitions.